Game Plan, a parent's guide to youth sports. Sponsored by Children's Health, Andrews Institute for Orthopedics and Sports Medicine.
In our special series on youth sports, it's time to tackle which sports are right for your children. There are many variables to consider when you're looking for the right fit. Here's Sean Giggy.
Okay, so Timmy, Tommy, Stacy, Julie, Jimmy, Johnny, Becky, Ashley, Billy, Ronnie, whatever the name, your child is ready to play sports. But how do you decide which one? Well, you don't. Parents, listen to your children, or they might become part of a staggering statistic. A study by the Washington Post says 70% of kids will quit playing sports before they turn 13, simply because they're not having fun.
Come on, guys.
Which is why most coaches, trainers, and parents agree. If you want your son or daughter to stick with it, they get the first decision.
I think you give them the opportunity to make that choice.
If my child says, I want to try something, I'm going to let them try it.
So I would find out what their interest is.
But the final decision comes down to you.
We meet in the middle.
Youth sports can be a serious investment for health, time,
Maximize time
and money.
What?
Here to help are some friendly charts. The Utah State Families and Sports Lab found that among popular youth sports, basketball and soccer are the least expensive, costing families just over $1,000 a year. While the most expensive are hockey and lacrosse, with families spending more than $7,000 per year.
That's dirty.
That kind of money can keep kids from trying new sports. But coaches say it shouldn't have to.
There's some great organizations that exist to help low-income families.
And I think the first thing is asking for some help.
There are ways to get your kids involved, even if money is tight.
While money is a big issue, even more costly can be injuries.
So we're here.
More than 1.3 million kids went to the emergency room last year because of sports injuries.
We're inclined to go that way.
A 2011 study showed the safest sports are field hockey, tennis, hockey, and lacrosse, which average the lowest total injuries per year. Low-impact sports like golf and swimming weren't included in the study. It probably comes as no surprise that football topped that list, with nearly 400,000 visits to the ER. But what is surprising is the sport with the highest rate of concussions isn't football. Even though hockey players suffer far less injuries overall than almost every other sport, when they do get injured, it's serious. A whopping 41% of hockey injuries are concussions. Football isn't even second on that list. Lacrosse is, with nearly 16% of injuries being concussions.
Each family has to do what they got to do to make the decision that they think is in the best interest of their child.
But most of these coaches agree the rewards are worth those risks.
Sports are awesome, teach us so much leadership, so much character.
Passion, commitment, loyalty, brotherhood.
It's not about the sport itself. It's about who the child becomes along the way.
So whether it's time, money, or health that you value most, well, that's up to you to decide. But before you do, make sure you heed the advice from the most important voice, your child. Sean Giggy, Channel 8 Sports.